So we're back with one of these small updates that kind of follow some of the press stuff that we're doing. This time about retail, and we'll probably talk quite a lot about Chewy. Matt, we get asked a lot at investor meetings how we are competing against Chewy. What's your answer?
We're not. We're not competing against Chewy. We're very different businesses.
Same
So
old.
yeah, I think there's a misconception that because we sell some products direct to consumer and they're a retailer, that we must be competing really, really hard with each other. And but I think that fundamentally misunderstands what kind of company we are, which is a product company. We make products and then we sell them to consumers through a variety of channels. Directly is one, Chewy is another, Amazon, Target, those are others. But we never get the question of how do you intend to compete with Target? We don't. We intend to partner with them in the same way that we do Chewy. So they're a partner and a pretty good one.
And speaking of Chewy, obviously we've been a partner with Target for a long time. Chewy is a relatively new partner of ours. Michael Black, Chief Commercial Officer, is responsible for many things, but also for our relationships to retailers. Could you talk a little bit about the partnership we have with Chewy?
Yeah, so we've been doing business with Chewy now for not quite a year, but started off with a small assortment of around 30 SKUs that we tested early last year, and saw really great traction from the get-go. Now, one thing that I think Bark is really good at is finding unique ways within the space that we play in to really speak to customers and market our brand, and create a splash that really brings consumer traffic and eyes to what we're doing. And while Chewy's great at item assortments and shipping and their customer service, that's not necessarily their superpower. And so as we've been able to work with them over the past just call it last year, we've been able to iterate on stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, kind of these great brand partnership opportunities, expanding our assortment over time, really getting prominent placement on their site around key selling times of the year, and just driving some really great performance from doing that.
What's some of the examples of something that we do with somebody like that to kind of stand out on their site?
Yeah, sure. So, one of the things that I think has been a superpower of Bark for a long time are some of the brand collabs that we do. This last year we did a brand collaboration with Crocs, which got a lot of press and PR, and is again one of those things where when we do that, we see significant upticks in traffic. Saw great sales on our own DTC site, and Crocs sold out, I think within the space of just a few hours on their own site with the Crocs that we had co-branded with them. So Crocs for dogs. And there's ways that we can translate that into retail as well. Whether with a retailer like Target, to where this last Christmas we had our first Bark box at retail, and had it was actually a Rudolph licensed branded Bark box. Had a great sell through. Was a highlight of their holiday season in pet. And so, there are ways that we can partner with brands to really, and retailers to create these magical moments. And there's some really exciting things coming down the pipe with Chewy over the next 6 to 12 months.
What a teaser. I was wondering, how do you think about why do we sell on Chewy? Like, why don't just sell direct when we have that capability also?
Sure. I think we want to try and sell wherever customers are shopping, right? I think we want to be channel agnostic. We want to bring that Bark magic to wherever, those customers are looking for it. And one thing that we've been able to consistently show, and this is with empirical data, when we find ways to partner with retailers, those retailers, the market share within our space, they gain share. Our Bark shopper at Target, as an example, or at Walmart, is the most valuable branded shopper that they have in their aisle that's shopping dog toys. They shop the category more often. The value of their shopping cart is higher. And when we can bring that kind of data and analytics to our retailers on top of the magical brand moments and experiences that we bring, there's just a tremendous opportunity for growth on both sides. And so, we were ecstatic to be able to officially launch with Chewy this past year, and we knew that we had Bark customers that were shopping on Chewy, and there were probably some Chewy shoppers that were looking for Bark on their site that couldn't find it. And the tremendous reception that we've received as a brand, and the great partnership that we've received from the Chewy team has certainly shown that to be true. And they've shared with us that within the first 6 months that we were already a top 5 brand on their site within dog toys, and within the first 12 months that we should be a top 3 brand in toys. So I think just goes to show you the potential that's out there, just even within the first year, the traction that we've been able to gain as a brand by working together with the Chewy team.
Matt, maybe this question is for you. The margin, I would assume, is lower when you sell through somebody else. How do you think about that?
Well, the gross margin selling via Chewy or Target or any of our retail partners is lower. But there's a difference that when we ship our product to a Chewy or a Target, they're picking up one big load probably in a couple trucks, but trucking them over to their warehouse and then taking it from there, versus one by one shipping out to the last mile to the customer's doorstep. So shipping and fulfillment costs less for us. Kind of jumping on the back of Michael's last answer there. When we're selling direct to consumer, we have to do a lot of marketing and bring those customers to us, which has a pretty high cost. As he said, we sell there. I mean, it's the same reason that people rob banks. It's because that's where the money is. So we sell on Chewy because that's where the customers are, especially the pet customer. And we don't have to pay nearly as much. So when you come down through the contribution margin, our margins are actually better, at least equal, if not better, than our direct-to-consumer business.
It seems, and maybe this is a question for you, Michael, it seems that we obviously started in D2C, then we moved into retail. Retail have really grown a lot for us recently. How do you think about, I guess, how we're placing our products at different channels?
Yeah, we've been able to find ways to provide unique assortments for most of our major retail partners, so that as we look at channel strategies and distribution across product lines, that there's a reason for customers to go to separate retailers to purchase Bark product. The Bark product that you typically see at Target, as an example, you normally can't find that product at, say, Walmart or PetSmart, and vice versa. So there's opportunities that we've created at retail through our DTC product development superpower. I think it's another one of our superpowers. We have a tremendous design team. We design thousands of products every year for our DTC customer, and over time have built up this great product library, and we know what sells, we know what customers are looking for, and so we can take and harness that assortment and bring it to our retail customers to really provide a differentiated offering.
And so what do you think about the growth opportunity on maybe the retail channel specifically, maybe even specifically with Chewy?
Yeah, the one challenge that most retailers, and I would say, I would put Chewy in this category as well, as an e-commerce retailer, they haven't been able to crack the challenge of subscription or repeat toy purchases, right? They've cracked the code of how to get a customer in their store or on their platform buying food, typically through a subscribe and save function, but being able to really bring in a repeat purchase revenue opportunity from their customers has been something that has been challenging for them to do. Now, most of the brick and mortar retailers also recognize the importance that their .com businesses will play for their growth over the next few years. There's going to be a war at retail for that .com omni-channel customer, and most major retailers are not building hundreds of new stores anymore. I mean, there's a few exceptions to that, but generally speaking, retailer growth over the next 3 to 5 years is not going to come from new store growth. It's going to come by capturing market share, by servicing customers better. And for us, we've been in the subscription business basically since inception. That's a space that we know well. And so as we think about the opportunity that we have to partner with a Chewy or a Walmart or a Target, being able to harness our design capabilities has been kind of, I think, a step one, and we've done that successfully over the last 4 or 5 years. For me, step two is how do we incorporate more of our subscription model into their omni-channel strategies and ecosystems to help them grow this category and bring in more valuable customers where they can generate repeat purchases and repeat revenue here.
Last question, I think for me, just because the sun is kind of shining in your face, and so it's clear to everybody that you are in England right now. You're in the UK right now. Tell us just a little bit about international and how you think about that.
Yes, international for us is kind of new territory. So we've been selling to a few retail customers in the UK and in mainland Europe now, I'd say, for just under 2 years. The pet demographics that exist here in the US and have for a long time have quietly that those same trends have been happening overseas in just about every other geography. Now, some of them are a little bit more latent than they are here in the US. And if you look at like e-commerce penetration as an example, the UK is actually ahead of where the US is. They're about 30% penetrated in terms of their e-commerce revenue, and relative to the US, which is about 20%. So the US is still kind of catching up, but most other major geographies are behind where the US is and still have some space just to even get to where we are. There are online retailers like Amazon that are aggressively acquiring customers still in many of these geographies. The capabilities that we see in terms of delivery times and assortment and kind of a holistic membership model are really starting to just mature here, like in Europe and in most of the countries. And so this is a great opportunity for brands to, if they position themselves well in some of these geographies internationally, to really build a solid foundation that will lead to good revenue growth in the years ahead. And that's not anything that has been lost on us, and is something that as a brand we certainly will be focused on over the next few years.